Shalom, Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, for the blessing and the reading and the understanding to his holy and righteous words. Now, the name of this lesson today is Her Sins Have Reached the Heavens. All right? The devil is really busy. He's really trying to keep the children of Israel occupied in all of his doings and his ways and his order. And trying to, if you're at work, you understand what I'm saying, trying to stack things upon our calendars, which guess what, though? We got to seek the Lord diligently. You understand? We got to seek him diligently because he's just going to do what he's made to do, which is ruin your life. And we can't let that happen. We got to stand firm. We got to remain soldiers, and we have to endure in this battle. All right. So without further ado, I want to get right into this lesson. Pull out your 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha and follow along with me. Don't never take my word for it, especially in this wicked Babylon. Don't take no man's word for it. Always go to the chapter that they're talking about and prove them. Make sure they're reading it right. All right. So two precepts hit me today, and I wanna pull them out because they kind of, hit home with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a lot of things, one thing you have to do is examine yourself daily, right? How do we do that? We do that by always convicting ourselves with these scriptures, all right? Always keeping precepts in your head to keep you in order, okay? That's just how that goes. You keep a precept in your head and it helps keep you in order. You won't sin against the precept that's in your head, if that makes any sense, right? So these are the two that came out because this is probably for someone that needs to hear this, that's watching, all right? And not just for them, also for me. Why? Because the Bible is a two-edged sword. It don't just cut one way. It cuts both, all right? It put a lash on my back just as well as you, okay? Don't let any man tell you anything different. Thus saith the Lord, man. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out 2nd Ezra 10 and 33. I wanna read that one first, and it's gonna seem a little empty until I pull out the precept for it and bring it into full circle. All right. So let's get it. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 10, verse 33. All right. And he said unto me, stand up manfully, and I will advise thee. All right. So now we're going to precept it, and it's going to bring it into its full circle, all right? Because these are the two that just hit me, and it really made me like, wow, okay, I guess I got to send this to somebody. Somebody has to see this, and now I'm looking at it myself, all right? Just humbly saying, I'm looking at this myself because one thing, too, about this walk is a humbling walk, all right? It's a humbling walk. This is not a walk for the cocky, for the proud, or the prideful. This is for the humble. And if you're not, trust me, the Father will humble you. Yes, he will put foot to ass. I just got to say it like that. And don't worry, it's in the Bible. Ass is in the Bible. All right? If you was reading, you would know. All right? So let's go to 2nd Ezra. No, let's go to Sirach, which is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, okay? Sirach chapter 2 and verse 6. All right? Let's get it. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. All right? You walking upright, you ordering your way aright, and best believe you can trust him. Because if you're doing the things accordingly, and you're doing the things right, according to the Father, he's not going to answer when you want it, but best believe his timing is impeccable. It's beautiful. It's right on time. It's perfect every time. We don't get it because we've been taught worldly standards all our life. Even when you go to your social medias or your YouTubes, we've been taught to be impatient. All right? I even have to understand it and remind myself daily that we've been taught to be impatient. You can tell. Go on your YouTube, and soon that little commercial go up, I bet 99.9% of you don't watch that commercial. When that little skip button pops up in the corner of your box, what do? You press it immediately because you don't want to see it, nor do you have patience to wait for a commercial. But remember back in the day when we had things called televisions, programs, commercials came on. They gave you time to get up, get some water, get some popcorn, whatever you was going to do. That had us patient. All right, it's the littlest things. You might not think that deeply into it, but these times now, it's everything has to be right then, when I need it, when I want it. And the Lord's saying, y'all need to pump your brakes. Get patient. All right? And strap in. This is about to be a bumpy ride. All right? And I have to convict myself with that daily as well. All right? There's no one man above this thing here. Now, the Lord set forth leaders, and he appoint, prophets to push his word. But the Lord does accordingly to who he feels is qualified for that position. If you're not, he will turn your light off and he will slide you to the back. Okay? So, all right, so let's get it on. Okay, so let's go to Revelations now, chapter 5 and verse 8. Wait, time out. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6 and 33. Because I want to just precept the one that I just had read to you. Let's just precept Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. Because something else he just pointed out to me, and I just got to put it on out there. All right? But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. You see that? Seek this book and all the other things. The Lord said, I got all of that. But you better be seeking me first. All right? That goes for whoever listening, who is ever losing their way. You better be seeking the kingdom of Yahweh first. All right? And best believe, when I'm reading this, I'm convicting myself as well. You can believe that. You can get these other cocky brothers out here. I don't have time. If I want to be cocky, I'd have stayed in the world at the prime of cockiness. All right? I was the king of cocky. I don't need it. No, I need kingdom. All right? And I need to be in righteousness. I need to see my people back on top. I'm just sick of seeing what I'm seeing in the world. It cringes me inside. It eats me up, y'all. All right? So you got to excuse me. I'm taking things a little personal today. It's because the things that I see in the world before me, when it comes to my people, I can give a damn about anything else, anyone else. But when it comes to Israel, and I get it, I have to have patience because I was once asleep as well. But guess what? I had the mental capacity to, if I heard something that made sense, I went and researched it. And when I seen the research and it added up to what the person told me, damn it, I stood down and I started learning. Why can't the other people in the world do the same thing? When the Lord is trying to press your alarm clock, stop hitting the goddamn snooze button. Stop hitting the snooze button and wake the hell up so we can get out of here. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, that's the precept I have for that one. All right. And so let's now go to Revelation chapter 18 and verse 5. All right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 18, verse 5. You ready? Here we go. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Who is her? You're standing on her. Babylon. All right? Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall she shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. All right, let's just do a little light recap on what this Babylon is saying. All right. For one, she says, I sit as a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. America feels like they is the bravest, the strongest, and they think they is not gonna fall. They believe that. They don't think they're gonna fall. They believe they're gonna stand forever. I just watched a man of ex-army captain, chief, whatever he was, but he started talking about the arsenals that America is equipped with. He was like, let me tell you about this. And he was quoting about the UFOs. He was like, I don't give a damn about this stuff. Woo, woo, woo. He was like, let me tell you. He was like, you know why America's so great? Of the F-15 and the F-35 and the F this and the blah, 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 blah. And he just started naming off all these arsons they have and of war equipment they have. And he was just like, I would love to see whatever come out of the sky and threaten us. And she shall see no sorrow. She really believes she won't go down. But I'm here to tell you, thus saith the Lord Yahweh and his Father, this place is going to burn up in an hour. And guess what? I can't wait. I can't wait to see this place burn to the ground. Let me tell you how much I am so serious. If he feels that I'm not worthy to be into the kingdom, let me at least behold to see the demon get put out. His misery. I don't care at this point. I will praise you, Lord, from hell. If you feel that I'm not worthy, I'm going to still praise you in the hell. All right? But I pray that I'll be worthy. That's why I follow these commandments. Therefore, my foot is not going to get moved. I'm going to stand firm. You will not move me. All right? So get comfortable because I'm here and I ain't going anywhere. All right? So let's keep going, y'all. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 43. All right? We're going to keep this thing rolling, y'all. All right? 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 43. Okay. I was meaning to okay, I got you. There's so much that be popping up in my page, and I get to a page and I see some stuff highlighted and it looks so good that I be wanting to read it and it's gonna throw me off. All right, so let's go. Therefore is thy wonderful dealing come. Okay, so let's do 42. I'm sorry. Let's go up one so I can read it in its entirety. That's what I wanted to do. I want to read it in its entirety. All right. For thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. You see that? Let's go one more. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. That's what we're entering into right now. You see the part in 43 where it says, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest. It done reached the heavens, y'all. This stuff is done reached the Father. That's why you see the birth pains that's going on. You see the rumors of war. A lot of stuff is brewing up, and it's about to hit the holy fan. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad because you could tell, because wickedness is rising fast with it, though. You know what I'm saying? What's going on earth, the same is happening in the heavens. It's a lot of stuff raising up, and the wickedness is getting more wicked. Okay, the righteous, I pray, is getting more righteous. All right, and they're hating it. You can tell because they're bringing spiritual warfare on our people. There's a lot of death that's happening now, and we have to remain even unto death. And I will remain, Lord willing, unto death. All right. So we're gonna keep this thing going, man, and we're gonna stay around up in Ezra for a second, and we're gonna do a little jumping around. All right. So now let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 12, just one chapter over, verse 31. All right. And the lion whom thou sawest raising up out of the wood, and roaring, and speaking to the eagle, and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard. We're going to keep reading. This is the anointed which the highest have kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. For he hath set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them. That sounds like somebody familiar, right? That sounds like somebody familiar. But we're going to keep reading. And I'm going to get to who it is that they're talking about. For the rest of my people shall be delivered with mercy, those that have been preserved upon my brothers, and he shall make them joyful unto the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning. Let's stop right there, because now we got to find out what this talking about. All right, so let's go to the beginning of it, and I'm going to piece around. I'm doing this backwards on purpose because I wanted you to just hear that fire first, all right, of this beast. Then we're going to find out who the beast is. But let's go to chapter 12, verse 1, okay, and we're going to read it down to about 3. I don't want to, super stretch it, all right. And it came to pass while the lion spake these words unto the eagle. You keep hearing about, the lion speaking to this eagle, right? I saw and behold, the head that remained, and the 4 wings appeared no more. And the 2 went unto it, and set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and full of uproar. And I saw and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. All right, so let's stop and find out, because it's talking about a lion, an eagle. Now you're thinking, like, what the hell is that talking about? But that's why you have to study and read and learn how to read the precepts. All right, because it's gonna tell you if you know how to read the precepts. Let's read 7 and 2. Because another prophet brought this up, but he didn't have the clear understanding of it, right? All right, so let's go and read. Just a second. Let me make sure. There's something else I wanted to pull out. It's something else, Israel. Just give me a second. Okay, so I wanted to read. Let's read 10 first before we go anywhere else. Go up to 10, and we're gonna read 10 and 11 real quick. All right. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. Now, what I read in verse 1 through 3 was talking about a lion and a beast, right? So now we're gonna keep reading. Verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. You see that? That's the kingdom which the vision that Daniel seen, right? So you got to ask yourself, what's that talking about with Daniel, right? So let's go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 2. Okay? Let's go to Daniel and see what Daniel was talking about. Because you got to learn how to pull the precepts. Because guess what? These prophets was precepting each other too. All right? It's not like the times that we in now where you got other prophets of crapping on the other prophets like he ain't talking about the truth. He don't know what he's saying. We speaking the truth. Over here ain't talking about nothing. We speaking the truth. Everybody here is a bag of mixed nuts. That's why the Lord said in these times we're going to be worse than others, because the prophets had one understanding. We all following the Lord. Okay, we all agree. We keep it in the commandments. All right, Hut, let's get out here. I don't care how far across town you are and what camp you got going on or what congregation you got going on. We have one understanding. We are all following the Most High God. Keep his commandments and live. I'm going to quote what that brother's saying. That brother going to quote what I'm saying. And we're going to keep going because we trying to wake everybody up. But here in Babylon today, there's still even a divide even when we are awake. Even when we are awake. Someone somewhere not liking what someone else is doing, but here we is still standing and saying that thus saith the Lord, and we're acting all holier than thou. But I digress. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 2. All right. Forgive me, Israel, but I'm sorry, not sorry. Let's get it right here. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle wings. I beheld till the wings thereof was plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. All right? So that's the vision that Daniel had. He couldn't interpret it. It wasn't that clear. But then when you get to the Apocrypha, when the Lord was dealing with Ezra, he gave Ezra the more clearer understanding of what Daniel had seen. All right? Because everything is done decently and in order, and the Lord did things because it wasn't that time for Daniel to fully know what that was going into, because he wouldn't have been able to process it at that time. Whatever way the Lord knows best, same way in these times. We're breaking down these precepts. We learn in this book, but there's another level of understanding that the Lord can wake up in us and open up, and then we'll start getting even deeper into this book, because this book is still even deeper than we can comprehend. But we have to get ourselves ready. We have to follow and get better understanding, because the more we keep his commandments, the more we are opening ourselves up to understanding more better and more righteously, if that makes sense. All right, so we're going to keep going. All right, so now let's go to the wrath of the Lord, right? So let's go to, I read that one already. Okay, so let's go to Isaiah, okay? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 9. All right. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 9. And let's keep going. All right. Yeah, let's get it, Israel. All right. Here we go. Y'all ready? All right, let's get this fire, y'all. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. All right? Verse 10. This is my favorite verse, y'all. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasures. Bars. Okay? Bars from the Lord, man. He declared the end from the beginning. That's a punchline out this world. I could tell you your fate right now. Won't even need to waste any time. That's our Abba. That's our Abba. All right? And that's why he didn't give it all to Daniel at the time, because it wasn't time. But now, these times, oh yes, we are in sometimes, y'all, and we are rearing up to the end. All praises to the Father. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see the salvation. All right, let's go to Isaiah 46. Stay in Isaiah with me. Just go a couple chapters back. 46 and verse, not chapters back, couple verses back. You know what I mean. Chapter 6 and 46 and 13. All right, skip down. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. I want to read that again, right? I will bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. That means it ain't going to wait. It's going to come. And I will place my salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. All praises to the Father. All praises to the Father, y'all. That's his promise. And the Lord don't go back on his promises. He is not a man like us that he should lie. You don't need to lie. Who you need to lie to? Who's going to kick his tail? You know what I'm saying? No one. So he don't have to lie. He can tell you the straight up truth whether you like it or not. Deal with it. That's what the Lord's saying in this. He will do his pleasure. Go back up to verse 10. What did he say? My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. The Lord don't have to kiss your tail. All right? He going to do what he built this place for. He going to carry out the prophecies that he wrote because this is his movie. This is his story. And he gets to do whatever he pleases. Now, you have a problem with that, read this book and, go to Job. Job was a righteous, perfect man. And still he put, he told Job, give me what you got. I'm paraphrasing, and Job told him the problems that he had, and the Lord chewed him up. All right? The Lord said he knows the sands of the grains of sand by name. Are you serious? That's a bar for you, man. All right, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. The Lord, can't nobody cut like the Lord. I'm just going to say that. Amen. All right, let's go to Revelation chapter 19 and verse 15. All right, let's go back to Revelations, y'all. Chapter 19 and verse 15. All right, are you there? Let's get it. Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule with them a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty. All right, I want to precept that too, y'all. Let's precept that real quick. Let's go to. Let me see. Let me make sure I got this right, y'all, before I send y'all there. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. I want to pull this out. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. Let me see what I got under that, y'all. Because we want to see how sharp the sword is he's talking about, right? So that's what I want to precept. All right, so this is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of the Lord is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. That's how cold his words cut. He said it gets all the way down to the soul, the spirit, the joints, the marrow. Damn. But I tell you, man, this book cuts. It cuts you deep. It cuts you deep. Straight up, man. And that's how sharp that sword is that Yahweh Shai was talking about. It's sharper, man. And that's what's going to come out of his mouth. When the Lord come back, he's not going to have to raise his hand and, come on, y'all, let's box. And no. That's not. The Lord is so powerful. The words that's coming out of his mouth is going to burn people up. is going to burn people up with his words, man. That's like a fire-breathing dragon, so full of righteousness and holiness that is going to burn your wicked behind up if you're not right. So that's why you got to make sure you're walking upright and following him diligently. Because if you're not, when he comes and he got anything he's saying towards you and it's not according to his will, it's going to burn you up, right? It's going to burn you to a crisp, man. Matter of fact, let's go back. I just want to read it just to keep us on track. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 12 and verse 3. All right? Let's just read this real quick. And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. He burnt the eagle up. The eagle is here, that American eagle, Babylon. He's gonna burn this place up, y'all. You can trust and believe it. Ain't no the Lord want to bless this place. I hear silly Christians still saying that. The Lord, let's pray for this place and bless this place. All right, you go ahead. But anyways, let's precept that the sword out of his mouth, right? Because we want to stay on that for a second. So let's go to Revelations chapter 1 and verse 16, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 1 and verse 16, because, you know, he ain't going to be working with a butter knife, all right? It's going to be a sharp sword. And let's see how sharp it is. All right? And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength. He's going to be bright, y'all. He's going to be bright. You understand that? And out of his mouth come that two-edged sword again. What's the two-edged sword again? The holy book. Remember what Christ said. He come in the volume of the book. Guess what's going to be coming out of his mouth? The volume of the book. And it's going to cut you. It's going to burn you. All right? Pray that don't be you, Israel. All right, so let's keep going. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Let's go one chapter over, verse 4. All right. Let's go to chapter 13, verse 4. And let's get some more of this, right? And see what it's going to do when it comes out of his mouth. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. All right, you see that? It says whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, it burnt people up. It burnt you up. This is not a game, Israel. This is not a game. This is quite serious. All right. Matter of fact, let's keep going. I want to get some more on this, right? I want to get some more on this. Let's skip down to chapter 8. Let's skip down to chapter 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Let's stop right there. Remember I was talking about that army colonel that was talking about all the arsons that they got and all the great stuff, and you know, you want to try America. I would like to see you try it. There's nothing that will defeat us. All right. Well, according to this word, it says you're going to be afraid when you see him. But let me tell you, that man wasn't lying. Their pride is going to get them destroyed. Because yes, this is what it says right here, and I'm going to read it back in this context. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him. That means to put him captive again, right? Which were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. They were scared, but they're still going to be trying to fight our Messiah, man. They're still going to try to fight him, man. That's a pride right there. Fit for destruction. Still going to try to fight him. All right, let's keep reading. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hands, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. You see that? That's how cold our Messiah is, man. He ain't going to even need to hold a sword. He ain't have nothing in his hands. He came with that word. Shh, be quiet. Because that's true power right there. Coming from our Father, man, and his Holy Son. When he come back, all bets is off the table. And it's going down. I want to behold and see that, Lord. And I'm going to stand and be patient until you come and show me that. And you that as well, Israel, right? Let's keep reading. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of the fire and the flaming breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. And I saw this, I was afraid. Can you imagine what Ezra saw in that thing, man? He saw this right here, burnt up. All your armies, all your God bless America, burnt. Wasn't nothing else when Christ get through with this thing. It's going to be dust, smoke, flame. This is not a game. Let's get a precept, shall we? Let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. Let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. All right. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion. That's Israel. And with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. All praises to the Father. All praises. All praises, man. To the Father, man. It's going to go down. That right there, my friend, is reparations at its finest. Oh, that is reparations at its finest. I'm telling you, this word is medicine, man. I'm not going to lie. I was a little teed off with this system today, and I'm telling you, when I sit here before y'all, man, let me tell you something. Me breathing this word into my people breathes word back into me, and it makes me feel wonderful after I read these words. You understand? And that's what you should do, is when you having a day, get in this word, and I guarantee you read it long enough and diligent enough and start doing precepts. Oh, man. When I talk about good medicine, y'all, that's good eating. All right, so let's keep going, y'all. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse. What did I want to pull out of there before I send you there? Oh yeah, so I wanted to precept that about the multitude, but let me read it though to keep us up to date, right? Let's keep us caught up. The 144,000 and the multitude. All right, so let me go. The blast that came out of his mouth. And I just wanted to get one more. All right. I didn't want to keep you out too long. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 8. All right. I just wanted to read this again. I wanted to read this because I wanted it to stick, y'all. I wanted it to stick. And I'm sorry. This is just great, man. I'm telling you, this word shall not go out void, man. Matter of fact, let me pull. I don't even want to pull that one. I want to pull this one. This is the one I want to pull. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. That's the one I just want to pull. Let me just jump back in Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. And we can close out with that, right? All right. Who knows? If the Lord still put it on me, I'm gonna read more, right? And the people that have lost loved ones in this truth, let me tell you something. You lost a loved one in this truth, you're gonna see that person again. Don't you worry. One thing you can rest assured, if you lost someone in this truth, you should know with 100% truth and assurance of where that person's gone. They served their purpose. All praises. You should be rejoicing. If someone died in this truth, rejoice. Don't do this worldly stuff of just crying and you all messed up in the head. You should rejoice. Yes, the Lord pulled that person while he was in the height of his commandments. That means job well done, my servant. Come on, let me go on and get you ready. Put you in your garment before this great family reunion. All right? And as a matter of fact, I just got to go on and, before I go to Daniel, now it's just, its enemy is pouring on me. Let's go to Psalms chapter 116 and 15. Let's make sure. Let me check this one off. All right, because this is Psalms chapter 116 and verse 15. Because now I just want to read it for somebody that's going through right now, to let you know that it's a beautiful thing, man, when someone dies in the Lord, man. Let me make sure I got the right one. Yes, Psalms chapter 116 and verse 15. All right. Let's go to 13, though. All right, let's read from 13 to 15. I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. I will pay my vows unto the Lord now in the presence of all his people. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. So don't you worry if somebody done died in this truth. And let's get something straight too. If someone didn't hear this truth yet, don't get to thinking all back in the past. Oh man, I wish such and such didn't know about this. The Lord have mercy on who he will. If he didn't put it around that person's path, guess what? The Lord know how to deal with that situation. That don't mean that person is in hell. All right? That don't mean that person went. Everybody goes back to the Lord when you die, right? This is the final judgment when you get sent to that physical hell. Right now, we are in spiritual hell. We're in hell right now. But don't go beating yourself up about people that died before you got woke up, or you could warn them and all of that. Let the Lord worry about that. That's why he's our Father. He makes the big decisions. That's why our King Christ makes the big decisions. That's too much for your brain to fathom. Let's worry about right now. Let's worry about keeping the commandments and getting out of here now. Now, let's go to Daniel. Right? Now let's go to Daniel. And what did I send y'all? Daniel chapter 7 and verse. Let me make sure. Let me look. 7 and verse 18. All right. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. I just wanted to throw that one in there, man, because there's no punchline after that. This is what this fight is all about. This is what this battle is for, so that Israel, the saints, shall take the kingdom. All right? We're going to get this kingdom, y'all. So don't let this system or anything break you down, crush you, or anything of the matter. Because it's for a reason. It's to make us find gold. It's to form us. It's to burn off away. What's the best way to sterilize something? Put fire to it. Fire sterilizes, and it kills anything bad for you. So if you're walking in this fire and you're going through anything in your life, just remember that. The Lord has to burn away all that owed us So he puts us through things in the truth. It don't mean you in the truth now. Now here's the smooth sailing. No, actually the battle just began, because in the world you really didn't go through too much. I mean, you went through, oppression and all that, but you didn't understand it, so you didn't worry about it. You you medicined it with sin, and you kept on going. You got high, drunk, fornicated. So the battle begins when you become awake. Because now you're not doing all that stuff anymore. You stand away from the people that does that stuff, and people look at you and talk to you differently because you're telling them to do right with themselves. You caring about people, and people look at you like you're crazy. Now you're in the fire. All right, so with that, Israel, I love you. Continue on with the rest of your day. And best believe, Lord willing, you're going to see me here again. I'm not going anywhere. All right? You're going to see me here again and again and again till there's no more breath in this body. So with that being said, I love you, Israel.